He feels like I am controlling him by asking him not to wear Crocs, and I guess I am. That's sad. Like, this person needs to get punched. Sorry. Oh, you're so cute. You're so cute. Okay, but you cannot be annoying. I've seen a lot of people making these kinds of videos, and I love it. I eat it up because I love judging people that kind of deserve to be judged, you know, like horrible people. I think if you're a bad person, you kind of signed off the rights to be judged, especially in this context where on the Reddit thread, like, people are kind of asking you to. So I found some on Reddit that I would like to read and just let you guys know my verdict and my reasoning. And I think it's fun. Like, I think it's actually so fun to read these. I picked some that are kind of lighthearted. Like, I think I didn't pick any that were like too jarring. Like, I think there are some on here that are like very clearly fake and like, or I don't know, if they aren't fake, it's like wild stories. So I picked some that are just very like neutral. So the first one. Am I the asshole for refusing to help my roommate pay for a broken TV because I wasn't home when it happened? I, 22 female, live with 2 roommates, both 23 female, and we usually get along pretty well. Last weekend, I went out of town to visit my family, and when I got back, I found our living room TV, completely smashed. Apparently, one of my roommate's friends got a little too drunk during a small party they had while I was away, and they somehow knocked it off the stand. Now, both of my roommates are asking me to pitch in to buy a new TV because we all use it, and quotes, she put this part in quotes, we're a household. But I wasn't even there. I feel it's unfair to ask me to pay for something that happened while I wasn't involved, especially since it was their friend who broke it. I've offered to help them talk to their friend about paying for it, but they're saying it's easier if we all just split it. I get that it sucks to deal with this, but I really don't think I should be on the hook for something I had nothing to do with. Now things are tense between us, and I'm wondering if I'm being stubborn and am I the asshole for refusing to chip in? Strangely, I actually think this one can go both ways. I'm leaning more towards like just not the asshole, but I see why why someone might say that she is. Because apparently she gave more information later, and they like found this TV was like donated to them. Like, none of them paid for the TV at all. So since they're going to be buying a brand new TV and they're all going to use it, I get why someone might say like, yeah, dude, just like chip in, because it's like you're buying a brand new TV from scratch. Nobody paid for the last one. Everybody's going to pay for this one. You know, it's like just do it, just chip in, like you're going to use it, whatever. If they all had pitched in for the first one and they broke it, then I think it's more like cut and clear. Like, obviously it's their fault. They need to pay for it. But I get why she or someone else might think like, oh, maybe this is on her a little bit. Like, maybe she should pitch in. But I think ultimately she's not the one at fault here. Like, I don't think it's her responsibility to pay for it, because not only was she not home, this was their friend. So apparently she doesn't even know the person who broke the TV. It was under their watch. What was going on that this happened? You know, like, I don't think she should have to pay for their responsibility. No, you can't just growl at me. That is so rude. And especially, it was not even one of them. It was their friend. Like, it was on their watch. It was their mistake. It was their friend. I don't think that she should have to pay the consequences for their actions, you know? But I think this one could go both ways. I don't know. I can see why both sides have something to say, but I think ultimately this is their fault, and I am ruling it not the asshole. What do you think? You think she should pay for it? This one is funny to me. Okay, this one is funny. So, am I the asshole for asking my brother brother? Am I the for asking my boyfriend not to wear Crocs on dates? That would have been a different conversation if it said brother. My boyfriend, 23 male, and I, 22 female, are medium to long distance and only see each other on the weekends. We've been going out to nicer restaurants and bars for dinners and going on cute dates. When we went apple picking, I asked him not to wear Crocs because it's muddy, slippery, etc. It started a mini argument, but eventually he switched to boots. When we went to dinner that night, he wore the Crocs again. We were planning our Halloween costumes, and the next time we see each other, and I asked... Okay. And I asked if he would wear shoes other than Crocs. Am I just bad at reading, or is this worded strange? Oh, More than just the functionality part, they just aren't really what you wear when you go to bars or eating at nice restaurants. He even admitted to not wearing Crocs to school often, PhD, as he dresses nicer for school. I think this is embarrassing. I think it's fun picking out cute outfits I know he likes and doing my makeup when I get to see him. When I asked if he doesn't like dressing up when we see each other, he said that it shouldn't matter what you wear. Like, yes, but also there's a reason why people don't wear Crocs to weddings or job interviews. He feels like I am controlling him by asking him not to wear Crocs, and I guess I am. I don't know why that's funny. Like, yes. Actually, well, yes. Why do people speed through garages? Like, please stop. You're going to kill somebody. And also, I'm trying to record something. I guess I am, but I feel like I'm going crazy trying to explain to him why Crocs aren't a shoe for every single occasion. I'm not trying to throw out his Crocs or anything, but I just really like it when he dresses a little nicer and doesn't wear sweatpants and Crocs out. I love him and I think he's cute no matter what, but I really do love when I know he puts a little effort in. Okay, so then she added like a little edit, and I guess people were in the comments telling her to break up with this man because she says, "This has gotten a little crazy. I'm not going to break up with my boyfriend because of Crocs, lol. I really appreciate everyone who took the time to respond. It made me realize that I don't really care what he wears as long as we get to hang out. I'm also going to look into buying him a different pair of comfy, supportive shoes that he likes so he has options." My take is I agree with her. I think it's... Listen, I am all for selective fashion. Like, I am all for, like, expressing yourself exactly how you want to express yourself, whatever. Like, I don't really like rules about, like, dressing like this to this place or whatever. I mean, time and place. Like, if he's wearing Crocs to a wedding, get the man evaluated. Like, I don't know. Like, I think it's just a little bit, like, time and place, and you did it at my birthday party. Like, I don't know. You wore Crocs to my wedding. Like, I'd be mad, you know? From reading this girl does not seem like the girlfriend who's, like, shallow and who like wants her man to like dress a specific way and like be like this. It doesn't seem like she's, what is it called, like conceited or like vain. It doesn't seem like that. It literally just seems like she wants him to shake it up a bit. Like she wants him to like look hot and like maybe they're going to a nice restaurant and like maybe don't wear Crocs. And I wonder if he's wearing them with socks. That would be crazy if he's not. I think it's gross to wear Crocs without socks. Like, it's actually kind of nasty. I only have one pair of Crocs, and I only got them because they're the Raul Alejandro collab Crocs. And I swore before that you would never see me wearing Crocs because, I don't know, it's just not my thing. I mean, now it is. But those are cute. Those are cool. Like, those are different. They're not, like, normal Crocs. I know a lot of girls who have managed to change their man's fashion after they start dating them, whether it's, like, very subliminal. It's usually subliminal. Like, they don't flat out ask him, like, hey, can you stop wearing Crocs? Like, it's very, like, oh, like, they'll just buy him, like, slacks, you know? They'll buy him, like, you know, a nice shirt or whatever, you know? And these girls kind of have those intentions from the beginning. Like, maybe they meet him and, you know, they just think maybe they can fix him. And, you know, they just know, like, oh, yeah, I don't really like that he wears cargo shorts everywhere. But, like, I'll just buy him, like, slacks later, whatever. But they do it very subliminally. Subliminally. They don't, like, just straight up tell him, like, hey, can you, like, dress better? You know? Because then this is the result. Which, I don't think there's anything wrong with trying to change your man's fashion sense. Like, if he needs help, he needs help. I might be coming off so shallow, but, like, I'm not being shallow. I appreciate fashion. Like, sorry, I just appreciate a person who dresses well. And I don't think it's that big of a deal. Like, I don't think it's, like, a huge deal. But if you're wearing Crocs everywhere, like, listen, if my man, and I've had actually boyfriends who do not dress well. And you know what? I'll dress well and I'll be stunting next to you and that's fine. And I've put up with some stuff, you know? But if you're literally wearing Crocs everywhere, or, like, you're wearing cargo shorts everywhere, it's a little insane. It's a little bit crazy. Like, it gets to a point, you know? So I don't think she's wrong here. Maybe her approach might have been could have been better, but I don't think she's wrong. Like, to tell him, like, I just want you to dress up a little bit for me. And she also says, like, she goes into the effort of, like, dressing nice. And he obviously doesn't care. I get why people were telling her to break up with this man. Not because, like, he is wearing Crocs, but like you've communicated to him like, hey, I would really love it if you could like start dressing up more. I would love it if you would like, just like dress nice when we go somewhere nice, whatever. Like, could you put in a little effort? Like, could you dress nicely when we go to these places? And he knows how to because he dresses nice when he goes to work. So it's not that she's asking him to become a new person. She's just asking him, hey, can you bring out that person when we go to like a nice dinner place? Why are you wearing Crocs when we're eating at like a 5-star restaurant? I get that. That's kind of, to know that my man can dress and does dress well, but is choosing not to even after I've asked him, like, that's a little bit, like, that's annoying. I understand why she's annoyed. I understand when people are telling her to break up with him. A little extreme, but it says something when you request something of someone and they kind of flat out refuse for like whatever reason, especially when what she's asking him is relatively simple. She's not asking him to stop wearing Crocs altogether. She's not throwing away his Crocs. She's just asking, can you not wear them when we go to like our friend's wedding? And he's acting like a baby about it. Like, he actually is. He's calling her superficial. He doesn't think she looks prettier when she picks out an outfit and does her makeup. That's crazy! That's actually kind of crazy. If my man said, I don't think you look prettier when you do your makeup and do your outfit. I mean, that's a whole other topic. But that's a little bit crazy. Because she said that in quotations. He doesn't think I look prettier when I dress up and do my makeup. You could word it differently. You could have said, like, I'm not more attracted to you when you... But even that is, like, weird. He shouldn't have said anything. There's layers to this, but she only gives us so much information, and the essential question she's asking is about the Crocs. So if the question is, am I the asshole for asking my boyfriend not to wear Crocs on dates? No. If the question is, should I break up with my boyfriend because he refuses to stop wearing Crocs on dates? I'm gonna need a little more detail, but I'm already leaning towards a yes. Next. Am I the asshole for telling my nephew that he has to listen to my eldest son no matter what his dad says? My brother and his wife have a 6-year-old and 3-year-old boy twins. The 6-year-old, Cade, has become a total piece of hell since his brothers were born. Last weekend, we threw a 7th birthday party for my son, and Cade was invited. There were other kids. A bunch of 6-year-old and 7-year-old boys took over the living room and made a fort. At some point, they played a game where they kidnapped my 15-year-old son. Well, this is a new character. And held him hostage in the fort. Cade was off in his own corner drawing my walls with markers. He told him to stop and hand over the markers. Cade said no on the basis that Jeremy wasn't in charge of him. Jeremy called me in, and I told Cade that yes, Jeremy is in charge of you. He's a responsible young adult. Then I told Jeremy to handle his cousin. He made Cade wash the wall and kicked him out of the fort. I told Jeremy to explain why Jeremy did what he did. Sure enough, hours after Cade gets picked up, my brother texts Jeremy and told him that he is not in charge of Cade. I called my brother up and said that Jeremy is responsible enough to supervise a bunch of 1st and 2nd grade boys. He's literally everyone's favorite cousin and brother. He's the eldest of 4 boys and is quite helpful. I told my brother that Cade got off easy with Jeremy and he ought to be a better parent. This is another one that I think could go both ways, but again, like, not really. This is my problem. I'm too much of like, I can see the both sides and everything. Like, I can see the sides and everything. Like, everybody has a point. Anyway, I would rule this. She is the asshole in this situation. Because although it's not such a heavy situation, like, the 15-year-old just told the little one, like, hey, like, you need to stop, whatever. Like, and I get the whole thing of like, oh, he should respect his older cousin, blah, blah, blah. But, like, I think the mom has some blame here because, like, why aren't you watching the kids? Like, why? I don't think the 15-year-old should have that sort of responsibility to even, like, have to do that, first of all. And if there's discipline that needs to be done, I think that has to be done by adults, not by the teenagers. Like, I think that, yes, he's older, whatever, maybe he's responsible, but at the end of the day, he is still a kid. I would expect my cousins to respect me. I respect them, whatever. Like, I would listen to my older cousins. But I think it gets to a point, where it's like, why am I having to listen to my cousin? Like, why is my cousin giving me a consequence? So I think it was fine. This is what I think is fine. I think it's fine that the 15-year-old went and told the little one, like, hey, you need to stop doing that. Give me the markers. I think the mom, when she found out, I think the mom then should have stepped in and been like, hey, we don't do that. Like, now you have to clean it up, blah, blah, blah. You see? I think it was wrong for the mom to be like, take care of your cousin. Like, she literally said that. She's like, then I told Jeremy to handle his cousin. Like, I think that's a little bit like, because he isn't in charge of him. You know, like, I think there's a respect that needs to be there, but like, you're not in charge of him. You know, like, I think disciplining should come from the adults in the equation, not from another kid, 15 years later. He's a kid. I think the adults in this equation entirely are weird because even the uncle then later, like Cade's dad, texts the 15-year-old and tells him, hey, you're not in charge of my son. Like, why are you texting the 15? That's weird. Like, I think the parents here are a little bit weird. Like, kids should not be in the crossfires of, like, adults being upset with each other. So, like, I grew up in kind of a blended family situation. It's complicated, I don't know what. But there was a lot of communication that adults had to be doing. Communication between adults happened between adults, not between kids, and if there was anything that this parent wanted this parent to know about their kid, the parents would tell the parents. There wasn't like, I'm going to talk directly to your kid and tell your kid what's up or whatever. And there was no like, you go tell your aunt like this and that. It was like adults talk to adults. I think things just get really messy when teens get parentified, or younger than teens, because that happens too, like freaking 10-year-olds getting parentified. I think it's just better when there are boundaries between kids and adults. And it feels like here, the parents just don't like keeping a lot of the responsibilities. Poor Jeremy, like this kid. Well, I don't know, actually, let me not say that because I don't know anything about Jeremy. But in this situation, it seems sad because he's like, not sad, but it seems like he got the brunt of it. What is it? Like he got the bad end of it because he was just trying to save his walls, and now his uncle's texting him and like cussing him out basically. That sucks. Okay, I'm gonna try and find one more that's like a little more juicy because I feel like all these were kind of like tame. I want to find one that it's like, my uncle slept with my grandma. Am I the asshole for telling them that I slept with my grandma too? This one's literally titled, am I the asshole for apparently, what is it? Not treating my daughter like a normal person. I don't know how, this is why I'm saying so many of these I feel are fake, because how do you type something like that out and not answer your own question? It's so dumb. Okay, I found one and I'm actually gonna read it blind so that I can react to you. I just read like the first two sentences, so it seems good. So you're gonna see my like full reaction if it seems crazy. So it says, am I the asshole for cutting off both my adoptive and biological parents? 23, male. I was adopted when I was born. My adoptive parents, Jane and James, never kept it a secret from me. Thankfully, I wasn't able to meet my bio parents for a long time, and all I knew was that they weren't able to keep me, and Jane and James were willing to adopt me. I thought it was a simple situation of being taken by CPS and given to Jane and James. They were good parents to me and happy to have a child. They fostered other kids as well, but I was the only one they were legally parents to. I always thought they were great for adopting me despite everything. Recently, I got the chance to finally meet my bio parents, who I will call Todd and Mary. They had no other kids and were excited to see their only child. We met up at a restaurant and started talking. To keep it short, I'll skip to the main issue. They let me ask anything I wanted, so I asked what happened and why I had to be adopted by Jane and James. Todd got quiet and Mary started to cry. She said that they were heavy drug addicts and felt like it wasn't fair to raise me in that environment. Before I was born, they decided to put me up for adoption and found Jane and James. Once I was born, they continued to struggle with addiction, but decided to get sober a couple years after my adoption. They opted to have a closed adoption because they didn't think they'd ever get sober and didn't want to meet until I was an adult, so I could fully understand what happened and why they did it. They were both crying after recounting this. I'm scared where this is going to go because this is, like, sad. After hearing this, I didn't feel great. I realized that it wasn't just that I was taken from them and placed with Jane and James. They gave me up. I couldn't believe how selfish they were. I always wondered what happened, but this whole time, they just got rid of me. I told them I had to leave, and they accepted it. When I got home, I called and told them I was disappointed in them for abandoning me and disappointed in James and James for allowing this to happen. They were upset and trying to explain, but I hung up and blocked them. I then sent a lengthy message to Jane and James to tell them that I hate that they allowed my parents to get rid of me and that I wish they let me stay with them. Repeating some of the same points I made with Todd and Mary. They were also upset, but I hung up and blocked them as well. One of them, not sure who, messaged me from a burner number saying they're sorry and that they miss me and wanted me to talk to them. They offered therapy, which just angered me more because it felt like an insulting calling me crazy. I've been ignoring them since. I've been wondering lately if I'm right here or not. I know there are a lot of anti-adoption people on this app, and I'm hoping people here can give me advice. I'm upset I never got the chance to say for myself what I wanted, and that they made the decisions for me. I would have rather lived with drug-addicted parents that were actually mine than parents that I had no blood relation to. Was I the ass here? This one was crazy. I'm glad I picked that one. That was heavy. Oh my god. I think I think this sounds like a really immature person. Because what did I just read? That sounds so like, first of all, the fact that he says, I'm mad I didn't get to choose for myself. You were in the womb? And also, he's mad at his adoptive parents for not letting him stay with, like, drug addicts. Like, I get why kids who have been adopted feel abandoned. It makes perfect sense. I actually have such a heart for, like, adopted kids. Like, you know, kids left without homes. Like, I actually, like, feel so much for that. I get the feeling of, oh my god, they just chose not to have me. They could have got off drugs. They could have done this. They could have, but they just decided they would rather give me up. I get that feeling. But they saw no way out. You know what I'm saying? Like, as much as, like, I hate, like, the effects of drug abuse and what it does to people and, like, the collateral damage, you know, that happens because of drug addiction, there's also, like, a person there, you know, like, his parents are people, and they thought that they were going to give him a really, really, really bad life, and so they decided, let me give him up, which is upsetting. Like, I get that, you know, like, oh, why don't you just get off drugs? Why'd you have to, like, give me up for adoption? I get that part. But then to go to your adoptive parents and say, you guys are horrible for adopting me. Why'd you do that? Why'd you give me a better life? I would have rather grown up with people that were actually my parents. Then that is so horrible. Like, that is so disrespectful to his adoptive parents who raised him this entire time, who rescued him. First of all, like, they wanted a kid. Like, this was probably like an answered prayer to them that they got this kid, and for him to, like, spit in their face after they raised him, like, that is so horrible. Like, this just sounds like a really, like, just a bad person. I want to look at some of the comments and see what people are, like, saying. Yeah, someone responded and said, you are the asshole. Your bio parents made a correct and responsible decision to not bring a child into an addictive household. Your adoptive parents made the choice to love and care for you in the way your bio parents knew they weren't able to at the time. All these decisions were made selflessly and with your best interests in mind. Selfishness would have been your bio parents keeping you and raising you in a horrible environment. Please get some therapy. I could not have actually said it any better. Like, I think I'm just going to leave it at that. Because that is so sad for someone to think, you're selfish for taking me in. You're selfish for giving me a good life. I would have rather just been with my parents that I knew were my parents, because at least I would have known that they were my parents. This sounds like a fifth grader. This does not sound like an adult person. Like, how old is this person? 23. That's sad. Like, this person needs to get punched. Sorry. I am a firm believer that there are just some people that just need to get socked in the face, and then they'll realize, like, I don't know, like, maybe it'll wake them up. Because what do you mean? There are so many people who do end up getting raised by addicted parents, and then what happens? Like, they have really, really, really hard lives, and you were saved from that. You know, that these parents they made a good choice in giving you a better life. Would it have been better if they would have just, like, given up drugs, like, gotten themselves clean? Like, yes, that would have been so much better. But they knew that they were not going to do you justice. They knew that they were not going to be able to get clean and raise you well. So they gave you the best life that they could, and they intended to reconnect with you when you were an adult so that you can understand the choice that they made. Is it like bad? Like, is it feels bad? It's not fair. Like, I get that. I get how it must feel. But you were given a good life. And these parents had the decency to meet with you again, explain their heart, explain what happened, blah, 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 you know? And they clearly feel so horrible about it. They're like sitting there crying. I'm not saying that there's no such thing as like people who are manipulative and like addicted parents who do not care and like who would just give you up and have malintentions and stuff like that. That exists. I'm not saying that that doesn't exist. And I just don't think that this situation is that. I think these are people who wanted the best for their kid and made a good choice. They also didn't have any other kids. This was the only kid that they ever gave birth to. So like, it's not like they were just, oh, give him up for adoption. Like, I think that they just realized he's gonna have bad life if he stays with us, you know? And they made a really hard choice. That makes me so sad. I'm sad for like the adopted parents more than anything. Like, that's so, to like raise someone, and these people seem like great people because they also have like other, I mean, not that adopting kids automatically makes you a perfect person, but they also like fostered a bunch of kids, and that was the only kid that they actually legally adopted. So that is very sad. That is so sad. I hate when parents who have given their life to their child do not get that same like love or respect or human decency in return. It is so horrible. And like, it's just really sucky that there are kids that will do that. But obviously, again, everything is layered, and these things, we only get like a snippet of the actual explanation. We don't know everything, but we're just judging based on the information we're given. So we're not at fault for anything that we judge incorrectly. Anyway, I hope that this was entertaining and fun. I actually liked reading those. That was actually really fun. I like the blind one. I think next time I might like find them and read them blind, like for all of them next time, because that was actually so fun. And I am going to do this again. I hope you enjoyed watching. Subscribe, leave a comment, like, do all those things. Love you. Bye.